he has been beaten by a group of people.
There's a response, though, to that particular thing you speak of. If that particular clip is available, let's just take a look at the response that was given by the Greater Accra Regional Chair of the NDC, that's Ni Adekoka. And the response was pretty intriguing. If it's ready, can we quickly show that? And then that will actually give a certain... So I'm trying to understand from his perspective why perhaps he would say the things he's saying. And that is because if such a thing has happened, and this is the response coming from the NDC, whom some would suggest perhaps must be feeling a bit sorrowful for whatever it is that may have happened, then it becomes a problem. So maybe we can see that now, I suppose. Okay, so that clip, that is not available currently, but there was a certain response which perhaps we'll get to. So you make the point.
As I said, I foreseen this thing coming. So that is why I started, my brother, let us sit down and see how we can mobilize our people, educate them for a peaceful election. And he said no. I think I called him 1 or 2 times on this particular issue, and the response was no. What happens? There is nobody who can show you any video clip that my member of parliament has ordered somebody to go and do anything, or my member of parliament is at the spot where all those allegations that he's made, he's there, or anybody who can...
But he was with them during the walk, or?
He was. My member of parliament was with them. He is with the national executives, the regional executives. They were at the first line.
So he was with them during the walk?
He was.
And this incident happened during the walk?
Yes.
So he certainly was present. Perhaps not at the exact scene,
yes.
But he was present.
After, he was addressing. I was at Opera Square. I just got to Opera Square and I saw that they were addressing the people there. It was at the Opera Square that I heard and information came that our people were being shooting at the place and there is a fighting there and a whole lot of things. So I have to move back to the place. On reaching the place, I was told they have been rushed to the Usher clinic. When I got to the Usher clinic, I was told the doctor there said no, they should be taken to the Kolebu teaching hospital. So it was there when I met the whole wounded people at. I was not there when the scene happened. But as he said, people were throwing stones and all that. He is also
But we've all seen the video, so it's not just he making the point.
Yes.
We've all seen the videos.
What happened? What I was told is that when they were coming, there was this throwing of stones.
How did it start? That's the question.
Yeah, as for that.
How did it start?
You were asking one question, that we were doing our work. Why should they come and stand there to be shouting for more? Nah, because that is why there has been an agreement.
Okay.
The traditional, the traditional council called us, sit us down and said, if one is doing this, one shouldn't do anything to provoke anyone. So that is why he even said that there was a day I even called him, please, Saturday I have heard that we are going to do this, and he agreed. And I also told him that we are going to do a walk. And he said, no, Sunday they are not going to do it.
I have a question in relation to that which you just said. Now my point is, yes, you've been given the all clear to do your walk, to use certain streets. That's fine. I live in my house. If it's a story building, I live in that house. What stops me from looking out my balcony to say whatever it is I want to say? I have not come to the streets where you've been given the rights to do your work. So me standing on my balcony and shouting gives you the right to begin to pelt me with stones or bottles? I'll take your answer. But that will be after this break. You're still watching Opposing Views here on MX24. My name is Kwabena Chencheng Boateng. Like I keep saying, the show is very interactive. Get your people to share on the various social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as YouTube. When we return from this break, the NDC constituency chairman will be responding to that question I just posed to him. And then we'll get some more clarity on how to fix this problem, as well as views from people in Ododio on some of these happenings. We'll be back shortly.
They'll go with a 4-4-2 diamond formation for that early lead.
An early goal will settle the nerves.
Their away team has been in bad form. They will feel the pressure.
The home sides kept 2 clean sheets in a row.
For staying with us here on Opposing Views. Your views are very much welcome on this very platform. And before we went on that break, we were talking to, actually I did ask a question to the NDC's constituency chairman for the Ododio constituency, Poni Oblilai. And he was giving us his view on what it is that really happened. Actually, he was giving us a perspective of the issue as pertained to the situation that occurred last Sunday in the constituency. So, Mr. Lai, yes, you were giving us a justification as to a number of things that happened, but I asked the question as to why or what gives you the right to begin to pelt me with stones if I'm on my balcony and I am not intruding in your space in any way. I am just shouting or saying something, perhaps to somebody who is even at a far distance watching me.
I have already said that I wasn't there when the whole thing happened.
Yes.
But let me tell you one thing. At one of our sitting with the traditional chiefs, we even told them that time is not on our side, both of us. So MPP can do his programs on morning, then and close at 12 o'clock. The NDC also can do his. The next day we can change. One can go afternoon, one can also go in the morning. They said no.
The traditional
Why?
council
Yes.
says no.
Why did they say? They said no because they know that if a group of people were standing and another group of people were passing, it creates problems in Ododio. It creates problems.
So you are saying because you are doing a walk and you're going to use a street in front of a building I am in, I shouldn't come out.
If I were to be the constituency chairman, I would have asked them to close that office because it's on the main road, it's on the high street. as he told, it's on the pavement.
So we should stop all our activities just
it's,
because
it's
you're
an
doing your
office.
thing? Or
It's-
is that
no.
a case?
No, it's not an office. It's just a base.
Yeah, okay,
They do
it's on
face
a
to face.
base,
Okay.
a complete house that has built
Okay.
for them. It's a base for only MPP people to go there and do their own thing. Many things has happened there before, not that day alone. So that is why the chief said that if one is doing something, one shouldn't interfere. So to me, if today MPP is doing something nearer to our office or
You'll close down your
I will
office.
ask my people to close whatever is there
Okay.
so that there will be peace. Because we know our people. You are aware of what is going on. If one insults somebody, the other one is going to retaliate with another insult. Then it will backfire. So all these instances are there. That is why we are saying if one is doing something, one shouldn't come out and do anything. Because if you do anything, you will provoke the person, then it creates another problem.
So you are saying whatever it is that may have happened, good or bad, was as a result of a provocation by the NPP.
Yes.
And you cannot control your food in such a way that whether they are provoked to whichever extent, they do not
No.
get violent.
We are human beings. And as I told you, they saw the crowd. The police were in.
To the extent that your candidate gets to that particular point and starts dancing and starts doing things to...
They know Ninante, he used to dance. He liked dancing.
In front of somebody.
No. Yes, he
You
can
only want to
dance.
provoke the person.
I didn't see him dancing, but he said, Ninante, yes, can dance anywhere he likes. He's the member of parliament for the Elder. So if he's dancing,
So you can dance anywhere in the constituency.
if we are doing such a program, normally,
No, I'm just asking. Of course, he could have danced anywhere, but why that particular spot?
it was not that he was dancing. There
Maybe
was,
perhaps
you
the
know,
sound was loudest there.
we are using a vehicle, a sound system that is playing music.
Yeah.
So they were dancing along. It was not at that place that Ninante was dancing.
He disagrees. And,
As for that, is here alone. They were dancing. He is dancing. It was not here alone. Everybody was dancing on the road to the end of the program. And even at that place, what happened there was just something small, I was told. Then they all passed. It was after the man with the gun has been called, when he came there and he started the shooting. That brought all this blocking. NDC also have got a youth office there. If you go there right now, you will see they have vandalized everything. Theirs too, I was told the people went up and destroyed their TV and their fridge or something like that. That is what went on. So it was after the shooting. The machine that we were using a tricycle. A sound system that we fixed on top. They destroyed that sound system. Later on, our guys came there and took the machine and the tricycle to Bese just to go and park it there. They rushed there to Bese and go and put petrol on the whole thing. They amplify and everything, they put petrol on it and blend the whole thing there. So it was after, the guy who was shooting, I don't know whether he counted the number of bullets he's using, but he shoot, then the bullet got finished. So he started running away because he saw that if he's going to stand there was going to be a problem for him. So he started running away. It was there the people got chance to go upstairs and go and do what they should not have been done upstairs. It was after the shooting that my people went upstairs and go and destroy those things there.
And we are told this gentleman you speak of was a member of your party and then defected to their party.
Oh, yeah.
So he was a member of your party.
Yes, let me say
To the extent that we've also seen stories and heard reports of how he used to engage in some violent acts on the instruction
my
of...
brother, if one can testify that Nilante Vanderpoel has given somebody even a knife.
Listening. Is that because perhaps he may be as violent as people say he is?
No. In our time, there is no shooting.
But they were slapping. People kept, they kept slapping people. They kept beating people up.
As for that, in election year, maybe
it happens, eh?
Something like that.
So we should take it like that.
No, we shouldn't take it like that. That is why I met my brother and I said,
for the peace walk.
Yes,
okay.
Let's sit down.
So we'll look at a way to fix this thing if we can, possibly. But I also want to find out. He has given us a certain narrative, and to an extent, much as your people were provoked, was the best possible solution to draw a weapon to put more lives at risk?
Thank you so much. Let me say this on record. That there were, he said, okay, you weren't here when he said it, when we were on break. There were some NDC guys in the walk that are also holding guns. And if you listen to the clips very carefully, you will see the shooting sound when they were coming.
That it wasn't just one person
It wasn't
shooting.
only Yokayamas. And I've mentioned those names at another platform.
Who are those people?
Wadada,
Are
Adote
they the two in
Obo.
custody now?
No.
So these are different
they've run
people.
away. You see, and they were all holding guns, and there were pictures to that effect. Maybe he hasn't seen it, but let me say this: he said that he called me so that we arrange for a peace walk.
Why did you say no?
That is
to
what
a
I'm coming
proposal
to.
for peace?
That is
Don't
what
you
I'm
want
coming.
peace?
That is what I'm coming to explain.
Do you
to
want peace?
You know
or not?
what happened there?
No, do you want peace or not?
Oh, I'm a peaceful person.
So why then do you say no to a proposal?
Because we are dealing with a man we cannot trust, and that is Nilante Van Der Poel. All the violence in Ododo is being caused by Nilante Van Der Poel. He can't say it, but that is the fact. Let me tell you something. When Nilante Van Der Poel was coming to contest, even on NDC tickets, that is 2012 when they were going on primaries, even he was beating the NDC people, his own party people.
These allegations we can't substantiate.
It's a fact. I'm telling you.
It's a fact based on what you are saying.
No,
we cannot substantiate.
We all live in the
those claims.
constituency.
We did not witness
We
it.
live
We
in
haven't
the
seen. We haven't seen pictorial evidence or videos to suggest that this is what really happened. So, and then again, he has also suggested that we haven't seen Nilante Van Der Poel personally hand over any weapon to anybody or personally instruct anybody to go ahead and beat people.
Boss, I am telling you that 2012, when they were going on their primaries, this is what he did. There were 3 people contesting.
We know there was, I remember there was some violence.
Takikome and him.
I remember there was some violence.
Secondly, you mentioned Eslowusu. You know what happened? The reason why I refused the peace, this thing that he was talking to me. 2012, we have a group of young guys who used to have a meeting at Zongole. You know, Nilante's family house is just about 40 to 50 meters away from where they have their meeting.
Okay.
Without any provocation, he organized people to go and attack those guys. Young guys who having their meeting.
Again, there's an allegation we cannot
It's not an
substantiate.
allegation. I'm telling you, this is something we reported to the police. And the divisional commander, that time it was Mr. Oklu, who was the divisional commander. He called us and spoke with us and asked us to sign a peace accord.
Okay.
You see, the reason why I don't want to, we signed the peace accord on Friday. That time I was the constitutional secretary. I went to GNA with the NDC secretary and we presented a copy of the peace accord that we signed. And they forwarded it to the radio and the TV.
The other media houses, yes.
Yes, and it was announced on Friday. Monday, and they started beating us. So do you want to tell me that such a person, I should go and sit down and sign a peace accord with him again? There is no way I can trust such a person.
He was not the person you dealt with at the time.
But the candidate is the one who was there by then. And it is the same candidate, and it's that candidate we don't trust. As for him, he's a very peaceful man. I can attest to that. He's a very peaceful man. So if it were to be him, I don't have problem. And I gave him reasons. And I told him that if it were another candidate, I'm willing for us to do it. But Nilante Van Der Poel, I also need to be on my guard. Because he can do anything at any time. And I've cited examples to you.
Yes,
what
you
he
have cited
did
a
even
number
when the
of-
vice president was coming to the constituency. He did it. He knows.
Again, it's an allegation we
It's
cannot
not an
substantiate.
allegation. He knows he did it. And when he assured us that he's going to talk to them to stop what they are doing, ask him whether they respected him. So that is the man we are dealing with. You know what happened? He claimed that he was attacked by some. I think that time he mentioned newcomers name, but newcomers came out to say that he wasn't even at that place when the incident happened. And the thing happened on Sunday, and our president was coming to the constituency on Tuesday. So he intentionally did that.
So you think it was a deliberate attempt?
It was a deliberate thing that he did
to ensure
just
that the
to
president
frustrate our people. No, you know what? We are doing politics.
So
Just
it's a game of numbers.
To frustrate our people so that they may not be able to come out. He wanted to put fear and panic in them.
And so you also wanted to prove a point that what
No.
we are in power.
No.
So what was the point?
The issue is that I don't know, but when I finish, I will send the videos I have to you to watch it carefully, and you realize that some of their guys, they were even shouting, NDPB EBEJE, NDCB so you know what happened?
Meaning?
When our people left the scene, so some of the NDC guys climbed upstairs and they started vandalizing the thing upstairs, whilst those downstairs were still throwing the bottles.
Okay.
So they were throwing the bottles.
So he has even attested to that. My point is this, that why would you draw a weapon? You drew a weapon first, or a member of your party drew a weapon first.
No,
and you put a lot more lives at risk.
They drew. I told you that
Who
somebody
shot first?
broke.
Because every report I have seen and heard suggests it was the Neokaya mass.
Somebody broke a bottle and threw it at them when they have not even provoked those over there.
And so you drew.
So that caused the whole thing. Because if the person had not thrown the bottles at them, I don't think, because whatever it is, and it's also need to defend my life. And secondly, they are at their base. They are not doing anything. You are passive, and I'm only watching at you. Okay. And that shouldn't cause any provocation.
I get the impression.
But we know the man that we are dealing with.
I get the impression from the two of you that in an ideal circumstance, you would want a very peaceful process, so that whoever wins, wins peacefully. Yes. There's no bloodshed, there's no chaos whatsoever. Yeah. Now, he is open to the idea of some talk, perhaps even some action. Now, you on the other hand say, until the candidate is changed, or until there's some other candidate, you will still be on your guard, you still have all options on the table.
The truth of the matter is that we don't trust Neil and Tevan at that point when it comes to matters of that. So what we need to do is that the police has to make sure their intelligence will work out, and they should be up and doing, so that whoever misbehaves in the constituency will be arrested and be prosecuted. That is the only way. Yes, that is the only way we are going to have our peace in the constituency. But when you are telling me I should sign a document with Neil and Tevan, it will not work, because I've signed some before. When he was a candidate for NDC in 2012. But I signed and it didn't work. Okay. So what shows that if I sign today, it is going to work?
Your colleague here says he went to the hospital after all of this, saw people, some maimed, some with gunshot wounds, you say, with blood flowing and everything. These are human lives we are putting at risk. And all of you do not want this. You do not want to see people die, do you?
No,
or you don't mind sacrificing lives just so you
can sacrifice life because of an election? No, I can't do that.
Okay, so clearly we need to chart a path, because your people are not happy with this. Some people, in fact, we went to Ododo constituency to speak to a number of people, and they don't seem very happy with all of this violence that goes on there. Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, but let's take a listen to a few of the people we spoke to when our team visited the Ododo constituency to take their views on some of the recent happenings in that very constituency.
Me onupa pana aba waba yempie je neke wonale tumo me ni wo brother you manka teba oni bi aibonte me ishwelaite me na mele wolo mi odu baba ko ati je neke afi politics e
boni wo jwa ko nupa aba yen feji wole ake ododo ne letien this year ne emi wa wo expect ya ko nupa ni yo ma mi majian cheme ko amanya meche ko ni ameju amechon wo fan ake wo politics JB what expect ya ko nupa ba nya fe shina kan ba mi onu mi shi
me ko me hu wi ake nye oblain ke blind ya yo be am recruiter me vigilante anokwale ko yemi no
baba o
ye na kan jame ke why you na kan atashi both NDC peace council NDC MPP peace council in the national I got Nikeni beef me resolve. Monji, she's still no near no. Oh, like I made resolve go. Or Jamestown police station officer no me edumobie am yenu ne mokomi sha modumushi neighbor ni abontu aturamu ke abontu ofun no on echi ni pade mo ko kela ke o pade ko bi like oh policeman oh yalo neke e agbolo station officer Mr. Kwashi make check le gbe ojuba eke e ya agbolo.
Police being near me, I'm very committed to him.
Nila te fenu ko tumo like odododio bele peji nuega apart from le abemukubuku o kale no neta wole ncha wontawo no won pa ni faiwa nyane nele alo nyane e president alo eni ne ni yojeme e fragberry ani yojake no ne ebi nu efio ega no ne bi nu efio ega wo kale ba fi ke ko na yen wo fe be ni nya ba ile she wo fe wo gbo odododio na keta wo le
e ba le na kai wo she ni elections by December o shek be
shim oh da wo shek go gbe kla abi da wo shek go gbe kla bi an wo shek gbe kla wo shek gbe
oh e fe ma ke gbe se mo le hiji wo juba she fit mo bie nyeme son o ke mo konfe no ku bo oba yi so dwemo
over the mahabo the final word okay oblahi ke blai ni yo odododio be ne awie ake they should go the peaceful way come December 7th
so boni nyeme yo wie kenklen ngo asa ajobo eko ndwe mo na gbe ni ma wie pe jake mi pa odododio do ke je ko bla ya bi ko bla ya bi oblantai ye meme jela me sia di ame holo si mo ve mo ache bi ne ke la yu akeshi vote mo je no mo je nya mo je lo mo si mo fe mo ya e aton edwemo no ewo mo fe mo ko na ba mo ko ba e lakapo ake ya fe ne ke hey ne ka mafia yo fo yo ache bi ne ke la yu eja keke mo mi yin sueji pe e ba fe bojiji en o ingle nu ma kan ne ba le na kai nu ewo mi pa 5 yo nyeme achebi na ka ma yue cheme achebi na ka ma yue bona fe ni no ni mi na yen ne wo ya ni wo bobon wo dun ni papa wo che ni papa bona fe ni jomo afi wo no ko ni si ajo ni mla akon ne pa ba bi le na ngo isusu mo wo yin ka je susu mo apa nu ma sa hawo bona fe ni ngo denche sumuna abami e lati na ba ya twa no ma de jo afi wo no ya o.
That was Marie-France Fojo at Jamestown in Odododio speaking to a number of residents there. They said a lot of things, though. Some said a few things to suggest even the police are not up to the task. And so the police sometimes even run away when push comes to shove, the reason for which they have no option than to find a way to protect themselves. But a number of people, as I monitored, also said a lot about the parliamentary candidate of the NDC, that's Neil van der Poel. And many suggested that he perhaps may be quite violent. I want to speak to the constituency chairman for the NDC in the area. Do you speak to your MP often?
That would be a difficult thing for him to do.
Every day I used to speak to him.
Used to?
Yes, every day.
You still speak to him?
Yes.
Very often? How often?
Oh, yesterday I was with him in the night.
Okay.
We went to some programs and...
Is he planning any chaos?
Oh, I tell you. I don't see... That is what I'm saying. If they can prove, somebody can say that Kofi and Amma said it was Neil Ante who sent us to go and do this.
Let me rephrase the question.
Always...
In all honesty, do you think Neil Ante van der Poel is a violent person?
Neil Ante van der Poel is not a violent person.
Okay.
He's not a violent person.
He has never displayed any violent tendencies before.
My brother. He always tell our people that they should be mindful if they are speaking. they should be mindful if we are going to this work and whatever we are doing. Those guys whom used to follow him, protect him at times if he's going to work or house to house, none of them, there's nobody who can prove that he have seen Kofi or Amba in Neil Lante's group shooting a gun. There is no one.
Okay. So, since this incident happened, what has been your conversation with Neil Lante van der Poel like?
Oh, I have told him that I have started initiating this peace program with the chairman.
Which appears not to be working, though.
Okay. The other time I went to a particular station and I think their Medina chairman was there and he said he's going to talk to him.
Okay.
So that we will see, the two of us will sit down. You know, we have to organize something in the community for the people to see. It was early this year or something. Neil Lante Bannerman's mother passes away. Neil Lante van der Poel gave me money to go and make donation at the funeral.
They are related anyway, so...
And I went there and did it. And at the funeral, Neil Lante called and the two of them spoke.
Okay. So you think at the level of the parliamentary candidates, they are okay, and it's just a problem with the support base?
For now, they are not okay. As for that,
they are nemesis.
Hey, fire between the two of them now. They are not okay. As for that, yeah, I have to say it. So that is why the two...
Have you tried having your candidates sit across the table to have discussions on how to ensure that there's no violence in this election?
I said something, and I know it will be very difficult for my brother to admit. But 2016, the then assembly member of English electoral area, you know, my brother has also been an assembly member before. I have been an assembly member before. The then assembly member of English electoral area, Neil Lante van der Poel, assaulted him in the presence of the Jamestown police commander, the then Jamestown police commander.
You haven't
Secondly, I'm coming, because he want to refute the violent thing that I spoke about.
So granted.
Secondly, as I'm speaking to you now, Neil Lante Bannerman is in court with Neil Lante van der Poel for assaulting him in 2016.
So you are saying...
What happened was that we launched our campaign in 2016. The president was there to grace the occasion. When we finished, in the evening when we have done a successful program and finished, Neil Lante van der Poel himself was leading the attack. Okay. When they see MPP...
Again, you are making a claim we can't independently verify or substantiate.
So what
is the way forward?
The way forward is that the police need to be up and doing. And the police should ensure that whoever perpetrates violence in the constituency should be dealt with. If I can sign a peace accord with my brother,
that you have mentioned, that but peace accord doesn't matter much. So essentially, you want corporates to be brought to book.
Yes.
And that if perhaps a few people are jailed, it will send a clear message to people that violence cannot and will not be tolerated.
Yes.
What's the way forward from your part?
As I have said earlier on, Neil Lante van der Poel is a peaceful man. Because I
personally... You keep laughing when he talks about Neil Lante van der Poel.
Having seen
He's not.
Neil Lante van der Poel...
He says he hasn't seen him display anything, any violent tendencies. Yeah.
The case that he said is pending at the court.
Our time is just about wrapping up, so we have to wrap up. Yeah.
I have forgotten what took place that day. 2 people were shot. MPP men shot 2 guys. Even one of the guys was an MPP.
But all of these people are residents of Ododo.
Yes.
These people regardless of MPP or NDC, they are people in your constituency. Lives you are joking with.
Yes.
So what is the way forward?
The way forward, as I said, that the 2 pieces and we, the chairman and the party hierarchy, have to sit down. So that the whole people in the community will see that we have sat down and this and this and this.
Will you instigate such a move? We are willing to back you. We are willing to. MX24 is willing to have.
I am prepared because I know.
Can you speak to your candidate? Can you speak to your candidate so we organize such a thing, and have a proper sit down and try and deal with this issue once and for all.
I don't have problem organizing such a
Fantastic.
thing, but Nilante Vanderpool will not work with it.
That's fine.
The man that
once
I
we get
know
there,
will not work
once
with
we
it.
get there, people change. That's even if what you are saying about him is true, people do change. So we'll get to that anyway. But once we've all committed to doing this, we'll follow up on this very conversation and ensure that peace prevails in Ododo once and for all. But gentlemen, thank you very much for your time today. So today on the show has been Paul Niobli Lai, the NDC constituency chairman for Ododo constituency, as well as Seth Raymond Tete, who is Tete, who is the NPP constituency chairman for the Ododo constituency.
1 minute to say something in Ghana
to your people.
Listeners. Yes.
I think you should do that. First with you, quickly, maybe in 30 seconds.
Yeah, thank you very much. Wonyeme Ododo NDCB ke MPPB fen yo Ododo. Fianke wo fen nyeme ko mejuwo. No ni ya no Ododo ke tun na twa iba ino iba ba mokokulu no ijake na bon tu itula mo pe bullet ka twa iya shon ko kan shi yo otumi pono wo tun na twa iba yin ba so yi wi pa ni fen fai ni ha no ni ya no ne o fen wo ka wona ni amashi ake no ni ya no ese afo aje ne ke suban ne ye gamami ni party se nyon fen afa shu ake 20 baba
okay
wo fen wo tashi kodi woke wo ya yue ino ni ya no eko aka ya no don keje mene ka shi December 7th na ba afi na kan election e
let's hear you
wa don
yo dodo bi if you get me to anan keje you o ba pa mo fe mo fai if you get shigan we kume keje meji wo eja ke wo gamede nje wo ifa omo nyaka ha me ko me